All right, what's up, boys and girls? Top Strength Cast coming at you live for the Top Strength Project. This is episode 4, I think. And these are actually my first two guests on the show. We have Dave and Tiago, the Brothers and Moffat. How do you say that?
Brother and Moffat.
Brother and Moffat?
Yep. Yes, sir.
A couple people say Moffat, and I'm like, that can't be right.
I did too. I did too. So
these guys are my first guests. They handle all the catering and food prep for my facility. They cover all of my events, and they're just kind of recently starting to branch out. So I'm really excited to have them on. I'm really curious about how they got started, their upbringing, kind of what made them decide to want to be chefs professionally, and just kind of their story, what led them to be professional chefs into catering and then into the food prep industry. And also I'm interested to know what they're going to do moving forward. So thanks a lot, guys, for coming. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Excited.
No, it's my pleasure. So let's start off with that kind of first question. So you guys weren't originally born here in America, right?
No, born and raised in Portugal.
Are you guys first generation or second?
Actually, we were born and raised in Portugal. Our father is Cape Verdean, so
okay.
My mother is Portuguese. So we kind of had the African influence mixed with the Portuguese. Yeah.
When did you guys come over?
2000. Sorry, go ahead. How old are you? I was 19, turning 20, 2004. 2004.
I was 13. Yeah, I was 13 years old.
How old are you guys now? Put that a little bit closer so it's closer to your mouth. Talk right into it. It won't bite, I promise.
I'm 32 right now.
All right.
I'm 37.
You're older.
I'm older. Yes.
All right, interesting. I kind of always thought you were older.
Usually people think that.
Yeah, a lot more mature, a lot more well put together, a little less all over the place. Well, it's good. You're energetic in your old age.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? We feed off each other. I need that. I need somebody to pull me down sometimes. Sometimes I get way too excited.
Dude, absolutely. Excitement, ambition are great qualities, but it's nice to have someone with some reins, you know, because I'm like that too. I can get fucking out of control. Yeah. And sometimes it's nice to have kind of some yin and yang. It's very, very important. So 04, so I graduated high school in 05. So that kind of gives some context. So you guys are a little bit younger than me. So you were a sophomore in high school. You'd already graduated.
I did.
All right. So did you come here first? Where did you first immigrate to?
So we came to Providence.
Yeah.
We lived in Providence for about a year and a half, and then we went to live in Central Falls.
Yeah.
So I stayed in Central Falls till. We stayed in Central Falls till I graduated.
Yeah.
Are you any other siblings? You guys have another brother, right?
We have an older brother in Portugal.
Yeah.
We have two sisters. Sorry. One is younger than me, and
all the same parents.
Six of us.
Six of us. Yeah.
That's like a 50s family.
Yeah.
That's massive.
Yes,
it's beautiful.
Yes.
And we were raised all in close quarters, man. Like
Ken says he knows one of your brothers. One of your brothers is in I forget what Ken does professionally. He's a site worker.
Okay.
And he said he actually worked. What does your brother do?
Ruben works for a pharmaceutical company.
I'm curious how he and Ken cross paths, because Ken said that he actually knows your brother and he does site work. So I don't know how you guys cross. Or actually, believe it or not, Ken was in finance, which is so fucking hard to believe because he's such a silly meathead. But he was in finance. He was up in Boston, suit and tie for a long time.
Wow.
He must have been miserable, but he must have crossed your brother's path like that. All right, so you guys came over. You were a sophomore. You'd already graduated.
I did.
And you came right here to Rhode Island.
I came to Rhode Island straight to work.
You were already working.
I was straight to work.
And you were still in school?
Yeah, I was still in school.
Okay.
I was a nobody in school pretty much. I was bullied.
What?
Seriously, I was bullied in high school, but then senior year, things kind of
bullied
settled.
Here or bullied back home in Portugal?
No, here in the United States.
Okay.
But, you live and you learn.
He actually graduated. He honor student. He was.
You too?
I did not.
No?
I graduated barely.
That's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, honor student was top of the class.
All right. So how many years were you out of school when you came? Like 4 years?
Yeah, 3 years.
And what were you doing for work then? Were you in the food industry then?
My first job actually was in Portugal. I worked at McDonald's, right? It's not really food industry, but yeah.
No, it is fucking food industry, especially here in America. It is the American food industry, if you think about it,
really
unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
But very interesting start to start. I mean, think about it. Start from the bottom, and now you own the food business.
Actually, there's lower than that. Actually,
yeah.
I feel like when I came to work in a factory straight up from the boat. in Pawtucket. So I have friends there. It was great. They treated me well. I started as a little machine operator. I worked there for 5 years or so. Ended up, when I left, I was one of the mechanics. So, rose up a little bit there. Meanwhile, I always had 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Being a dishwasher, that's how we started in the restaurant industry. Tiago and I worked together as dishwashers.
Yeah.
Truly starting from the bottom,
Yes.
first as a dishwasher, then at McDonald's. Great place to learn exactly what not to do as being in the food industry.
Absolutely.
That's my assumption. I mean, I don't know much about McDonald's, but I'm
Absolutely.
sure that's a great way to learn exactly what not to do in the industry. And then, so you were at McDonald's. You were just graduating high school.
Yeah.
And then kind of how did that come together? When did you guys kind of start cross paths and essentially working together?
He was still in school because, we always wanted a little money. We had the ambition. There's always work here in America. There's always work if you want to work. So we started working at the same
Do
restaurant.
you hear that, Americans? There's always fucking work
Absolutely.
to be done here in
That's
America.
crazy,
So
yeah.
why don't you get off your ass and get to it?
Yeah. We started working at a restaurant in North Providence together.
What kind of restaurant? What kind of food was it?
Italian restaurant.
Beautiful.
Of course.
I'm Italian,
Oh, there you go.
supposedly.
Really?
Well, my mom's side is they always thought they were full Italian, but they all ended up getting 23andMe, and it turns out I'm actually just as much, if not more, Greek than Italian.
I can see that.
Yeah, very very interesting. And there's a bunch of different lineage. My uncle, who's actually like he thinks he's Tony Soprano. He's very Italian, with the big belly, talks with his hands all the time. He found out he was like 7% Jewish.
Wow.
And he was like, bullshit. I'm like, Uncle Johnny, like, you're American, bro. Like, chill. It's all good. Like, don't get that upset. It was too funny, but yeah. So I grew up Italian. American Italian, but it turns out I'm any more Greek. So Italian restaurant first.
Actually, let me correct that. The owner was Italian. The restaurant was a Brazilian steakhouse. Let me correct that because
That's important.
that's important.
Interesting, yeah.
So we used to be the guys, washing dishes, and whatnot, and then we moved up to
Yeah, we all show interest. We always got along with the chef, the head chef. Ask him how you do this, how you do that. And little by little, you might need a little help prepping some food. You let it prep, and just we start being curious. We started, show interest. I tried to impress some girls by trying to cook.
Easily.
I tried to.
If you don't mind to backtrack a little bit, before you guys were working in the industry, as young kids growing up, because I was always in the kitchen fucking around, because my mom was always in the kitchen. Always. She's probably in the kitchen right now. She's always in the kitchen. And I was always very, very curious. I always was kind of interested in just what went into cooking. Like, I was always making my own breakfast first thing in the morning. I'd always help her cook. So before you guys were dishwashing, doing machine work and all that, were you guys interested as young kids over in Portugal in the kitchen at all? Did it start young, or was it only when you guys started working?
honestly, Steve, I was in the kitchen just eating, man. I was a over 6 kilo baby.
Yep.
So
That's what, 15 pounds?
13, 14 pounds.
2.2, so about 14 pounds,
Yes.
14.2
That's-
pounds. No, 15.2 pounds.
Natural birth.
Are you sure you were that big?
He came in the newspaper.
Because I was just under 10, and that was a big deal.
Nah, man.
He
I
was. He came on the news.
I think you should check on that.
I'll definitely.
I gotta talk to your mom.
He destroyed my mom. My mom,
Yeah.
he destroyed.
Yeah.
She was out of the commission for a
I
while.
can't imagine. Yeah, that's crazy.
And my oldest brother, because my father was always working, of course, with 6 kids.
Of course,
So
yeah.
my oldest brother and David used to feed me, right? And it was nonstop, man. It was that's the only thing I remember was nonstop. I was
Yeah.
just this big baby, just eating everything and drinking anything I could.
Yeah.
Well,
That's very interesting just to think about. Like, you would assume that anybody that's in the food industry and in the cooking industry would probably be that young kid in the kitchen. But it sounds like you guys didn't start cooking
No.
or really have much interest in food preparation until you were in the professional
Correct.
realm of it.
Correct.
All right, so you're in the Italian restaurant. You guys are dishwashers. You become close with the chefs, and you kind of dive in a little bit.
Biggest jerk, but the guy that probably taught us the most.
Yeah?
Biggest jerk. He was not a nice guy, but he taught us so much. I'm still grateful today. If I see him today, I'll shake his hand.
Yeah.
He really taught us a lot.
Good chef.
Yes, good chef.
So on a similar light, people have asked me a lot if I have any like mentors or people I look up to, people kind of pave the way for me, and I've never been able to come up with an answer. I really can't think of anybody. But I did grow up. I started in trades, and I worked for a good friend of mine, Drew Carpenter. His name's Carpenter. He's a carpenter. And my buddy Drew, he is definitely someone that I really looked up to. growing up. He was a super talented motocross rider, for one, and I always had a huge affinity for dirt bikes, but he was a very, very talented carpenter. This fucking guy could fix anything. And I loved working for him, but he was fucking abusive. He was fucking abusive. I'm not exaggerating. There were probably half a dozen times on the job, and it's almost like he knew, but there was a half a dozen times on the job where I was like, if he says one more fucking thing to me, I'm going to kill him. And it was interesting because it seems like he always knew, because I would have that interior monologue in my head, and it wasn't always like at the end of the day. Sometimes it was like first thing in the morning, and I didn't have mannerisms, or at least I didn't think I did, to make him know, but he knew when to cut it. But I learned a tremendous amount from him. And I can tell you guys, it's almost like, I don't think he's this intelligent to do this, but I almost think he was as much of a prick and as hard on me as he was, because I think he saw a lot of potential in me.
Yes.
And I think he wanted more from me than to be a laborer or a carpenter, because I can tell you, when I started doing this, he's like my fucking biggest fan. It started on social media, and he would write these like diatribes. For whatever reason, on social media, he always talks in all caps. It's really weird, but he is one of my biggest fans and biggest supporters. But very interesting, like you said, I learned a tremendous amount from him. Not just like skill-oriented stuff, but just about being a hard worker. Because this dude is relentless.
Absolutely.
And he played a huge role in my life, similar to this guy you're talking about.
Sometimes I think we all, as young men, especially if you have like a alpha personality, or if you have a strong personality, you kind of need somebody that will dress us down and it's hard on us, right?
Kind of put you in your place.
Yes, correct. And we all need that, I believe. And looking back, it was beneficial to me, I think. Same thing with Thiago.
Yeah, man. I used to get sick going to work, man. My stomach had butterflies and everything. Almost every time I turned the corner, man, I used to be like almost throwing up
because of this guy.
Dude, but I was like, what, 17?
Yeah, it was.
But I was a hard worker, man. And I'm like,
hard, man.
What about these kids over here? They're not doing anything. They're chilling with the weight.
Looking back, we ran that place. We ran that place.
Yeah.
But it's just like what David said. That guy, by being tough, made us, want to work hard and want to better ourselves.
Yeah.
And he definitely played a role, in our come up, pretty much.
To kind of address that kind of piece you just spoke about, I think what's lost a lot today is some people want to work hard, some people want to do their thing, but they always want something in return. If you provide a service, if you have a hard day, they want pay, they want this, they want that. But I, at a very young age, and still to this day, there's tremendous value and just a feeling of gratitude in just a hard day's work. Yes. Just when you do something to the best of your ability, you don't necessarily have to get paid for it specifically or get more money for more work. But when I have a day and I bust my fucking ass, there's just this feeling of accomplishment that you feel, pride, taking pride in what you do. And I learned that at a very young age. And the thing is, I know from experience, and I truly believe that if you just go into work and genuinely want to apply your best effort, it will come back. It will lead to more money. It will lead to success. Maybe not right away, but when you always have that kind of approach, that kind of ideal, that kind of gauge, you become conditioned, and that's just kind of who you are, right? And then you always apply that effort, and then it comes back. It always comes back.
I say this to Thiago all the time. If you work hard enough, doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter, right? If you work hard, someone will notice.
Yeah.
Someone will notice. Our father was not around too much because he had to, take care of us. He worked so much, and he instilled that on us. Hard work. One thing I got still today, the hardest man I ever met. That man worked his ass off.
Yeah.
And by watching him, it was always a sharp dresser. So, and he worked his ass off. I got that from my pops.
Yeah.
definitely. I think Thiago agrees to that.
It sounds like this guy from your first job in the industry also. Was he older? Was he like in his 30s, 40s, 50s?
40s, 50s, no?
40s. Definitely 40s.
Okay.
And I agree with you, Steve. Just there's no better feeling of laying in bed and knowing you did everything you could that day,
yeah.
In your job. There's no better feeling of saying, you know what, today I worked my butt off and, I did everything I could today at my best. ability and capability. It's just
there's
an
a
amazing,
priceless reward.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't need to be. You don't need a bonus in your check.
Yep.
It will come, but there's such a fulfilling feeling in a job well done. I get chills just thinking about it, as corny as it is. And no matter what you're doing, I mean, I was fucking selling electronics at Staples. Not the most fulfilling work, but just meeting people, connecting with people, going that extra mile. It comes back. All right, so let's get back on track. But I'm really glad we addressed that, because I think that plays a huge role in your success and how you guys are doing as well as you have. You guys definitely take a lot of pride in what you do. And I think that's really my overall message with this particular podcast and what's coming up is I really would like people to just understand the value of effort and the value of hard work. Obviously, it's a huge piece of training and getting in shape and all that, but it perpetuates into everything else you do. So you guys are working as dishwashers in an Italian-owned Brazilian steakhouse. That sounds ridiculous.
No, it was the bomb. That place was busy.
You're trying to pick up chicks, so you're following this guy around trying to learn how to cook a bit, doing some.
Did not work.
Now, did you guys ever progress from dishwashers to food prep in that restaurant?
Yes.
Both of you guys did.
Correct. Yes.
All right, so let's talk about that.
So, as a Brazilian steakhouse, you go around, with the meats. We
did a little bit of everything.
But
yeah, it's usually like an all-you-can-eat thing. So you pay a flat rate, and they come around and you just pick your meat.
Yep. So we started actually. I still remember it was a basement and used to be this water dripping. It's so creepy, man. So creepy.
Don't put the guy on blast, man.
No, I'm not saying no names.
Food code, man.
I'm not saying
the health department is on.
Yeah, I was going to say, where was the health department?
They're listening, bro.
There's no such thing, man. At that time.
Maybe he was affiliated. Maybe he was connected.
Definitely was.
So we used to wrap chicken in bacon and wrap steak in bacon, and just put on skewers, and they seen that we were fast and we wanted to.
Dedicated, man.
We're dedicated. We did not want to milk the clock, because you can easily do it. The faster you do, the better it is for the restaurant, of course. So, there were some people that definitely took their time because they didn't care, but that's how we started getting noticed.
Started getting noticed. Eventually, Thiago was made the head guy in the food prep, right?
So you worked way up to a high position at that first restaurant. Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was very young. Looking back at it, I was very
young.
Very, very young. But
man.
I was in charge of the guys of passing out the meats, and making sure that the prep was done, making sure the food was good and everything else.
How long were you guys working at that place?
I want to say I was there for 3-4 years, to be honest with you. So
you're early 20s and you're mid 20s?
Yes.
Did you guys leave at the same time? Did you guys go separate ways?
Yeah,
what did you guys
around the same time, right? So we had a little experience cooking in restaurant industry, but you always want more, man. Like there's something you always want a little bit more, and so we both. You guys always want more. I always want more. A lot of people aren't like that, and I wish more people were. Steve, it's a very important thing to understand. But one thing is, I think we all, like human beings, we condition. Like it's hard for us to dream and have big goals. It's hard. Yeah. I think we burn through steps because we always small steps. That's
the only way. But the thing is today, because of social media and because of the internet and easy access, all we see is the end result.
No, sir.
People see the highlight reel. Most people don't. And also, to be kind of devil's advocate and be kind of sensitive, there are people who are like overnight millionaires. There is an opportunity to do that, but that's the 0.001%. And a lot of people think that's the norm. And that kind of understanding of tiny, baby, small steps. Sometimes you get a jump. More often than not, you get kicked down a couple steps, and you got to get back up and keep going. Yes. But yeah, it's small steps. And to just kind of make a little point on that, it's being able to find value and enjoyment in the process. If you have a goal, let's say you want to be head chef at a restaurant, that's great. But if that's your only drive, I want to be head chef, that ain't going to fucking get you there, man. No. You have to enjoy the day-to-day, the showing up for work, giving your best effort, learning skills, accessing failures, going back, figuring it out. It's understanding that process. That's not a linear process. And eventually you will become that head chef, but not because that's your only thing in mind. You have to enjoy the process, you know?
You got to move through the fryer later. You got to go be the grill guy.
Yeah, and it's not bitch work. It's honest work.
It's not, this guy, he was the sous chef when I was on the grill. This guy, for some reason, Thiago always had jobs, even though he's younger than me, that required more responsibility than I, for some reason. Maybe he's a daydreamer.
I don't know, man.
He always did. He always did.
You know what it is, Steve? I just want to work, man. I just want to do my best, to be honest with you. And to me, it's whatever it takes. And I think that has to be, we're talking about childhood and everything else. It's just like family is 6, big family, 8. My parents, of course, big family, not having much. I never want to go back to that. So I was brought to this country with a huge opportunity to do better, be better.
Yeah.
I'd be stupid not to take it. So I always want, that's why, like, when you said in the beginning of the podcast, you seem so much more mature. It's not that David is not mature. It's just like, I think he comes from the childhood. I never want to go back to what he was.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I wasn't happy, because I think we had a really good childhood. It was
cool.
It was a lot of fun. Crazy stories. But I just don't.
I can only imagine having a large family like that. All pretty close in age?
Yes.
Yeah, back to.
That's my older brother.
Yeah, that's
he's
fantastic.
just 1 year older than me. Then there's Ruben. He's I know. But the boys, we grew up together with the boys. Between the boys are like 6 years of difference.
Yeah.
And we all together grew up in the same room, played together, played soccer together. My older brother was super protective of us. My older brother was everything. It's cool.
Kind of my kind of similar outcome, but kind of different story. So I'm one of 3, and both of my parents are wonderful people. My mom's extremely loving. My dad's a very special guy, but not that it's a bad thing. But my parents aren't very ambitious. They're comfortable. I don't want to say simple, but my father's not very ambitious. My mom's not very ambitious. They're both very hard workers, but and I didn't grow up poor by any means. I was always very comfortable, always had a roof over my head, never had to worry for anything. But I personally, for whatever reason, at a very young age, I had an appetite. I wanted nice shit. I always wanted, when I was very, very young, I always had wants. I always wanted it. And I learned at a young age that if I wanted something, I was going to have to get it.
Yes,
and I never really resented my parents for that. It's just kind of something that I learned and accepted at a young age, and I'm very grateful for that. I always saw that my parents were very hardworking, and for similar outcome. I never struggled. I always had everything I ever needed, but my appetite always propelled me to go out and get it. So different background, but similar outcome. All right. So you guys left that restaurant. What was your guys' next job? Were you guys still working together? Or did you guys go separate ways?
Kinda. We worked at this assisted living, so we made a move from the restaurant to healthcare, assisted livings, retirement homes, rehab centers, because the pay was a better pay, was better structure, the benefits.
Probably a little bit slower paced.
A lot slower paced.
Yeah, I was a
lot better, and we learned a lot of cool stuff too.
Yeah, that seems like it'd probably be like a 9 to 5 and not like a 5 to 2.
Yes, pretty much.
Right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How long are you guys doing that?
A long time.
Yeah?
Up until recently. And again, we moved through the ranks. We moved through the ranks quickly with our certifications. Then there's the side of food handling, right? So we need all the certifications and everything else. We learned a lot in that environment as well. Yeah. So
I'm still in healthcare. I'm the culinary director, and David had pretty much. It's funny because we always worked together in same companies, but different buildings.
Interesting, yeah.
Always, pretty much,
Any competition between the two of you, or more of a partnership? I mean, obviously you guys are partners now, but when you guys were, because you guys own your own business, you do your own thing, but when you guys were working under another company, when you're working for somebody else, did you guys kind of have each other's backs, or you guys kind of at each other trying to see who can get further?
No, I think all is each other's back.
Beautiful.
Always, because
your success is his success.
Exactly.
His success is your
absolutely.
success.
If he fails, I fail. That's what. Even in different buildings, I remember. Hey, David, I forgot to order some creamers. Can you bring me a case of creamers
Yes,
to home?
No question. Done.
No question.
I'm not going to bust your balls about it later either.
Why? he wouldn't bust my balls about it. Oh, why did you forget the creamers? Oh, you didn't order this, or you didn't order that. It was never like that, you know, because
that's not the norm with siblings, bro. No fucking way.
But I know the feeling, man. I know the feeling. I know what it feels like. So I don't want my brother to feel that.
Yeah.
I want him to have a good day. Why not contribute to him to have a little better day?
And at some point, you're going to need something too, and he'll be there.
Always.
Yeah.
You know what's the great thing? I was always a little more, like I said, I'm a little more the wild child since I was a kid. So I always venture for more. I always change companies, have like 15,000 jobs, but always in the healthcare, always food service director, always, try to evolve. And Thiago always did super well. And if we work in the same company, I move to another one, I'll entice him. Thiago, let's come work over here. Come work with me. This company's great. This and that.
Yeah.
So we always kind of follow each other.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
That really has a huge impact on me because, like I said, I'm one of three. I have a younger brother and an older sister, and they're my siblings. They'll always be my siblings. My brother, always my brother, always be my sister. But I envy that a lot because I have a great relationship with both my siblings, but we couldn't be more different. We're just different, and I really envy when I see siblings that kind of share the same path and same direction. You guys can kind of totally work off each other, have each other's backs. It's great. I mean, they have my back in other ways, but it's like, we don't really do the same stuff. So very, very rarely is there overlap where we're in a position to need each other. If my sister needs some furniture moved, she'll call me. That's kind of the end of it.
Not to be sentimental or something, but it's very rare in this life where you find somebody that'll care how you feel, cares about the way you feel.
Yeah.
Honestly. I know this kid cares generally how I feel right now. He doesn't want him to see me sad.
Yeah.
And I know he goes to bomb. He doesn't want him to see me sad. So we'll work or we're moving away for me not to be sad.
Yeah.
In his power, right? Sometimes even more. So in the same way, I care when I want him to have a good day, right?
You have to reciprocate, especially when you guys are blood as well. It makes that bond even stronger.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
So just kind of my perspective, when I think about healthcare, you guys are serving food, preparing food for the elderly, you said?
Correct.
I'm assuming that's not the most impressive menu, right? And the reason why I say that is you guys are fucking chefs, okay?
Correct.
Just to kind of speak a little bit on their behalf. So the thing with these two guys is their food's incredible, like sincerely. And I'm not just saying that because I sell it here. I'm saying that because I eat it. They cater all my events. Even if they were pricks and I didn't like them, I would probably still sell that food at my gym because it's that good. I'm being sincere.
Thank you.
And they're great guys. I really enjoy them. Like, we're friends off microphone as well. I really enjoy these guys. I adore them. So on the other side of the coin, if their food wasn't that good, I'd still probably sell that food here because I like them as great guys. So not only are they great chefs, but they're also great people. Thank you guys very much. But the point I'm making is, I'm assuming you guys were doing some cooking, some food prep,
yes,
and learning about, 5-star cooking,
yes,
while providing what I would say is probably a 3-star service. Is that fair to say?
We work at a high-end assisted living over here on the east side.
Okay. Oh, all right.
So that's
predominantly Jewish.
Exactly.
All right, we're talking east side of Providence.
Yes,
For those of you listening that are from Providence, east side. If there's a home that goes on the market for $300K, if it's on the east side, it's $3.2 million.
Easily.
So if you guys are working at an assisted living on the east side, it's very, very high end. So I stand corrected.
Yeah, for very high end, very educated type of crowd.
Okay, interesting. So you guys were doing some kind of high end,
yes,
skilled cooking in that environment.
And Steve, it's not every meal because you're serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks and everything else.
Yeah.
So, when people talk about nursing homes or assisted livings or rehab centers, of course, people usually think,
I picture oatmeal and spam.
Exactly. So you can just put in perspective. I just left my previous job because that's what they wanted me to serve.
You refused.
So it's not that I'm above that.
You are better than that, though.
I don't want to do it. I do not want to be serving
where's the potential for growth there, right?
Exactly. I don't want to be serving, a 4-ounce piece of frozen chicken.
Yeah, you don't want to work in a kitchen with microwaves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I left pretty much. Long story short, that's why I left pretty much your
job before this assisted living.
Exactly. Where I am currently. Because of if they're not giving me at least a decent
Yep.
food to cook.
The opportunity to express your
Yeah,
craft.
he has
Exactly.
creative
There you
freedom.
go. There you
Creative
go.
freedom. He has that now.
Exactly.
Well, that was my next question. So when it comes to your responsibilities in this assisted living facility, were you guys allowed to be creative? Were you guys allowed to meal plan, choose the menu, whatever it may be? Is that kind of your position there? Do you guys plan the meals, plan the food, and recipes and all that?
Yes, as
everything.
culinary directors,
Great.
we cook too. And
So this job brought us to essentially present day.
correct.
All right, so you guys were in this assisted living on the east side of Providence,
Yes.
east side of Providence. You guys were given a lot of creativity. I assume the facilities were great, so you guys had everything you needed to learn, practice, and kind of hone your craft as chefs.
Yes.
All right, so at what point did you guys start your own kind of catering company?
Okay.
Is that the next step?
Yes.
Okay.
The catering, I'll let David.
You can chime in because
Well, you're the ambitious one.
no, he's ambitious too, but
But you're the guy that's like, let's fucking do this, and he's like, that sounds great, but what
Yep,
about this,
absolutely,
this, and this?
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
I'll call him at
That's
2
the
a.m.
relationship.
Like if my brains go, I call him like, yeah, this, and this. It's like, okay, how much is it gonna cost? Well, what do we need to produce this? Well, how can you bring it to reality, right? So he always brings me in.
Right.
Anyways,
So you guys are in the assisted living. You guys have been there for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
You're not comfortable, but you guys got that on lock, all right?
Yes,
so
yes,
you guys,
correct.
it's under control. You got a good thing going.
Yes.
Now it's like, okay, can we do something more? You wake up at 2:30 in the morning. You have an idea, and you
So,
take it to Tiago. What is it?
a family member passed, right? And I heard about it on Facebook, but not. And I offered, hey, do you want a soup? I know you're gonna have people over. Okay, if anything, somebody passes, we're gonna have some people over. Let me bring you a soup. Okay.
Where are we in time? How long ago is this?
5 years.
6
5 years.
yeah.
5 years, yeah. 5 years ago. So 5, 6, yes, easily. And I said, oh, yeah, sure. So, I bring a soup kettle from work, right? Make a beautiful soup, bring it over, and they'll love the soup. And they asked me, tomorrow we're going to have a mass and we'll need breakfast. Can you help us? We'll pay you. I'm like, no, we don't need to pay me or anything. So I go home. He's boiling my head. Okay, I need this.
They're your family, though. They're biased. They're going to tell you it's good whether it is or it isn't.
But listen, it's like, so, and then I didn't say anything to him yet, right? So I'll do the breakfast, make some omelets, beautiful, omelets by the order, actually.
How many people are you preparing food for? How big of a job is this?
30 people or so.
30?
30.
Is that a big task for you, or no problem?
It's Monday morning.
How big is the nursing home you guys been working at for the last 5-10 years?
Steve, I've worked in 206 bed facility, and currently I'm working on 160 bed facility.
All right, so 30 people for you guys is like me making dinner for a date.
There you go.
Yeah,
Easily.
yes.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. So
Context is important for the
Yes,
listeners.
yes.
All right. So I'm having a date and I want to cook her dinner. That's the same thing for you preparing food for 30 people.
Correct.
All right. So you got 30 people. They love your soup. They want you to make breakfast.
Yes. So I'll make the breakfast, omelets, home fries, a little bacon.
Are you alone? Did you bring any staff in?
I'm alone. So I banged that out. Everything went well. End of the day, they came to give me a little money, and I go home. Right, I go home and I think about this. Maybe I can
That was fucking awesome.
I can make some money doing this.
But I'm
This is
sure
cool.
it's enjoyable too because it's completely your show.
It's awesome.
Completely your show.
You don't understand. Even if I have people,
No, I fucking get it, bro. It's your show.
I love cooking.
Start to finish.
Yes.
Your menu, your materials,
Yes.
your craft, your fuck up or your success.
And that first bite people take to their mouth and they see their faces and people tell me, I don't want people to tell me it's good. I want people to tell me it's the best they ever had.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want you to tell me it was okay. I'll get mad if you tell me it's good. I want you to tell me it's the best you ever had, man.
And you can relate to that because you couldn't stand working in a place that didn't allow you the creativity to improve. So you get that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, go on. This is getting good now. I love it. I love it.
So I was like, oh, maybe I can make a little money with this. So I called Tiago right away. Yo, I got an idea, man. You want to make a little extra money? Like this. I thought, I was like, dude, you crazy. Come on. We have a full-time job, whatever. I know, dude, can you make, okay. So he says yes. Because again, this dude will. If I tell him I want to go rob a bank, he'll probably talk me out of it, but he'll go with me. You know what I mean? So he's on board. And
that line in that Ben Affleck movie, what is it? The Town.
Yeah, Town. Yeah,
fucking epic.
Yes.
So sometimes if I need some motivation, I'll watch that shit.
That's this dude. all day. You'll try to talk me out of it, but then he'll ride with me no matter what. No matter what.
What's your workload like at that nursing home? Is it 40 hours, 50 hours? kind of a 9 to 5 or what?
Not 9 to 5. Right now, about 50, 55.
All right, so
I'm salary, Steve. So,
well, no, I asked because I'm trying to create some context in it. How much responsibility you have in your current job versus how much availability you have for this side project he's thinking about.
No, but I'm still working my full time just like him.
That's what I'm saying. So you guys are both doing between 50 and 60 hours.
Yeah, bro.
6 days a week?
5, 6. Yeah,
5, 6. So you guys have weekends, most weekends available.
Yes.
And if you want to hustle after a 10-hour day, you can do a little bit afterwards.
Yes, exactly. And I thought, well, there's some money to be made. Why not, right?
And I think that's so important to say because everyone wants to do their own thing. But they're like, but I have a full-time job. It's like, listen, motherfucker. The full-time job is the price of admission, okay?
Yes.
That's the price of admission. If you want more, you need to do more. These people pat themselves on the back for having a 40-hour work week. It's like, guy, that's just the ticket to not be a bag of shit.
Correct.
If you want more, it's 40 plus. So you guys, and I'm really glad because that's my thought process. So you guys are working a 50 to 60-hour job full-time, but you're comfortable. You guys have that on lock.
You build your team, Steve. Just like everything.
And you're good at it.
And,
you hold yourself accountable,
exactly.
and your boxes are checked. You know what to do. So you're in a good position to make something happen.
Exactly.
At this point, we have careers. Really, it's not even jobs, right? Because we're kind of known in the community, right? In the industry, not community, in the industry. Anyways, so I tell them, let's do this, and then a person that was at the funeral, her daughter was graduating in a couple of weeks.
Perfect.
Right?
Yes.
Like, all right.
You guys gonna be eating? Are you guys gonna be eating at this graduation?
Exactly. Listen. We got our butts kicked. We got violated. We served shrimp, steak, chicken, all kinds of sides from like 5 o'clock till 12, 1 o'clock, nonstop.
Food display.
Just the two of you.
Yes.
And this is your first
100 plus people.
So this is your second job, your first job together in this potential catering venture.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And you get hammered. What was it? Well received?
People loved it, man. But the
amount of work, it wasn't really
listen,
quite worth it.
For everybody listening out there, they love the fruit display and everything else. That thing takes so much out of us. We love doing the towers, and that, but it takes so much time, and it's tough. But
now you have this standard, right? You can't do another job and do less than that because you're not going to like that. That's going to bother you, and you're probably the same way.
We learned how to carve fruit at the east side, turn a pineapple into a swan.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So now the next step is, okay, if we're going to do this, we have to maintain this standard.
Yes.
How can we make it feasible and doable to replicate and also make it so it's profitable? I can't put 20 hours into this job and get paid for 10.
We don't understand. You got to eat shit because whatever you just got, if you have a project, you want to do something, just take it out of your mind, put it in the physical world.
Yeah.
That's not going to be the final project. It's going to require work. Right now, we're so far removed from when we started 6 years ago, but I know this is not the final. This is not what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the future, right? It's beautiful. I love it. It's my baby. It's our baby. But just put it out there, then you work at it, right? You shape it and paint it and take a little bit, put a little bit more. You just shape it the way you want it, right? But just if you have an idea, just put it out there in the physical world.
In the beginning, it was
rough.
like very rough. It was like over 100 people.
This is the first job you guys did together.
The job we did together. The grill stopped working midway.
Burnt the grill like you kept caught on fire.
I don't know what happened with that grill. Everybody loved it. The food was on point. It was something that we were proud of. Mm-hmm. But looking back at it, in the first function, Steve, we were not profitable.
Yeah.
We would break even.
It sounds like what was missing, which is very understandable, is just the proper facilities in place to if the grill does go bad, do you have a backup?
Exactly.
And basically creating the groundwork and the framework to be able to execute. And that's kind of what was missing to make it so that it's sustainable and profitable.
Yes.
But that's I'm sure as you guys know, that's part of the you have to do that.
But I could not, me as a younger person, I could not understand that because I was like, dude, we just worked so many hours and this is how much we made. We made some money, but it was peanuts on that day.
If you were to divide it by hourly, it was you were making minimum wage.
Less
than minimum wage. It was that bad the first function. And David was the one that pulled me aside because I was so frustrated, especially on the first functions. I'm not talking about the first one. I'm talking about, building reputation, building the company and everything. we were making some money, but we were not making, much to bother my Saturday, to bother my Sunday. Respectfully.
That was rough.
It was rough. And I could not see the vision, but David always said, yeah, relax.
How many jobs? So right now on your second job, your second, first one together, how many jobs, now you guys got two heads in the game, how many catering jobs did you guys do until you kind of started to figure it out?
We started figuring out like last year or so.
So 4 years.
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
4 years of pulling each other's hair out, and grinding, until you developed a system and developed a procedure and process to make it so that it's doable and profitable.
Yeah,
acquiring your own gear, acquiring your own hardware, that was probably huge, and that takes time.
Yes,
because you guys have to work and make that extra cash, right? In order to be able to buy all the gear, I mean, we're in a 500,000 square foot gym, a $500,000 gym, so similar to what you guys experienced, I have the hardware, I have the brick and mortar. Now it's just a matter of just filling the fucking doors.
And like you, Steve, you have the best. I never seen a gym with like so much cool stuff. You have the best.
Well, there's opinions in what's the best. The stuff that I have here, in my opinion, is my favorite stuff. This is the stuff that I like. This is the stuff that I think is best.
You can be modest. You got.
Well, no, I just other people might like Atlantis more than Arsenal. I like Arsenal. Other people might like. I have Rogue and I have Elite Theater, but there's preference. But this is the stuff that I like best. But that's the thing with that, though, and I'm sure you guys do the same thing with your cutlery, your cookware.
Yes.
If I have the best shit, I'm fucking excited to use it.
So excited.
No, that's David. David right now, he won't use a regular knife.
I can't.
Well, that's something I learned from my dad.
I just recently got some good knives.
You got me a knife for Christmas, I think. It fucking blows my mind, dude. I thought I had nice knives. I was wrong.
No, this dude has fantastic knives, and he won't work with anything but those knives.
Well, that's something I learned growing up. My father was, like I said, always very hardworking, but also very frugal. And for example, always a penny pincher. And when, let's say we go to Sears and we want to get a weed whacker, there's the best one, there's a decent one, and there's a shit one. He always bought the shit one. And every fucking time it was time to fucking do some weed whacking, the fucking thing don't fucking work. And when it does work, it's a piece of shit. Now, if you just spend the money, I don't give a fuck what it is. If it's 5 times as much, you spend the money on that sick weed whacker, it's always going to fucking work. The end product is going to be better, and it's kind of fucking fun to do a shit task, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing with the lawnmower. Same thing with the stuff in the kitchen. It's like if I have the best stuff and I'm doing chores, which would normally be interpreted as busy work and a pain in the ass, if I got the best tools for the job, I'm kind of psyched, and it makes it easier. It's there when you need it. Every time growing up, when I wanted to do something, work on my bike, do yard work, whatever it is, the first 3 hours was fixing the fucking tools that I had to use to get the goddamn job done. And I suffered as a young kid, but now I learn when I buy something, I buy it fucking right. And then I check that box.
It's good to go.
And it's good to go. And also when you buy the good stuff, if it goes wrong, the companies have your back.
Absolutely.
When I call Rogue, they take care of me. When I call Arsenal, they take care of me. There's no question because I paid that extra money up front, and they're right there. So I think we share that. We share that process.
Yeah. So it was rough in the beginning. I could not see the vision.
Is that right? For 4 years, you guys struggled. How many jobs in 4 years, ballpark?
A lot.
What's a lot? Just about every weekend? Couple of months?
No, like a couple of months.
So
in the summer.
I assume this was kind of a weekend gig, right? You guys did your full-time thing.
Yes, summer.
Either 1 or 2 jobs a weekend.
Yes, we refused some because the hardest thing for me was seeing the toll you take on Tiago, right? Because I'm running on the dream, man. It's a real thing. I'm running on a fucking dream, Steve. I know it's going to work.
And he's the guy behind the scenes crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's.
And this motherfucker he was in it for me, to help me, to fuel my dream because you knew
that brotherly obligation.
And I never told him this, but I know it was hard for him and I see on him, but I know this is going to work out. And he was in it for me.
Yeah.
Not for the money, not for the work. This guy was getting destroyed because he's so dedicated to his work. I can take a step back from work. I know how to take a step back. Maybe that's why I will never reach that pinnacle as much as I could. But Thiago always hit it every single job. He was the best. Nobody's better than he's the best. and because he has no break. Let me finish. No,
I haven't the balance,
sir.
The work and
it's just
work.
You don't have the work-life balance figured out yet.
A little bit better than last year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I assume I'm kind of gathering that for 4 years you guys both struggled. It seems like you struggled a bit more. So, but for the last year, you guys have your craft. You guys kind of have your shit together.
Yeah.
Enjoyable, profitable.
Yes.
More comfortable.
Yes.
But now, how long have you guys been doing food prep?
A year and a half.
All right. So just before you guys got comfortable, it was time to take on another responsibility, another venture. So, right? Am I right? Am I putting it in perspective?
Yeah. Not that we needed it, right? Because we
of course you didn't need it. You guys didn't have your shit together yet for the catering thing.
Right?
We're still 6 months from that moment where you guys kind of have the catering thing completely under control.
Exactly.
And you guys are interested in doing food prep. What kind of gave you guys the idea to start prepping meals?
So at the time, my wife pushed me, give me the idea, right? And just give me the little seed. The seed.
Well, as an industry, it's huge. I mean, you see companies all the time. I mean, it's a very full market. There's no shortage of food prep companies out there.
I did not know. Then COVID hit, and I was like, okay, let's do this. So,
because with COVID, did your responsibilities kind of go down a little bit?
Not
at
as
your
many
job?
parties. The parties kind of died out a little bit.
The parties kind of died down a little bit.
But your full-time job was still the same.
Still,
okay.
You still got to feed 160 people.
All right,
at breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
But now catering kind of takes a backseat a bit.
And I'll take over from here, Steve. This guy calls me. I just landed in Denver on a little getaway. Right.
Good for you.
And I'm
this is a year and a half ago.
Exactly.
Okay.
Legit, a bunch of phone calls and messages.
Why do I have 8 missed calls from Dave?
I don't give a fuck. I'll call you 15 times. I'm like, if you don't pick up, I'll call you.
So, David, that weekend was supposed to do meal prep for one guy, 10 meals, okay? And he ended up doing it. And he was profitable.
I did it for one person.
One person, yes.
Because I was posting like...
Have we met yet?
No.
I feel like you've been here longer than a year and a half. It's been a little less than a year and a half?
About a year and a half.
Okay.
A year and a half.
All right.
Around the same time I started.
So around the same time that you prepped your first 10 meals for your first client.
And I knew I just needed one dude to post a picture of my meal prep. I knew that. I knew, Steve, I just needed one dude to post this.
Yeah, one guy with the right following to say this.
Not even just some random dude. This guy is a CEO. He has a few followers. He's not even like out there. Shout out to him. You know who you are. You no longer with us, but my first guy. I knew I just needed that one post to catch fire. Is
this somebody you've done catering for in the past?
No, just a random guy that he put a story. Now we offer meal preps. The guy
I put a story. Just we offer meal prep. I don't know. I just offer meal prep, and one dude. All right, let's see what you got.
Nice. All right, so 10 meals.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's on vacation. You
I'm
say,
on
dude,
vacation.
We're not doing a lot of parties anymore. I think we could make this meal prep thing work.
And then I was like, well, we don't have the macros. We don't have a menu. I want to rotate the menu 10 weeks. So every 10 weeks is a different menu.
Yeah.
We don't have the combinations. We cannot do this. We cannot do that. We cannot do creamy sauces because every time you reheat creamy sauces, it breaks like Alfredo and whatnot. So I'm explaining to him all the huddles. Right,
I don't want to hear it.
And legit,
are you listening to what he's saying and offering answers? You just fucking ghosted it.
No. I know. Just the technical things. Some things do not read well, right? The macro is important thing. The rotating menu is important thing.
Yeah. So up to this point in all of your culinary experience, everything you've done is kitchen to plate, consumed, done. Mm-hmm. So now, right? So now this is a whole different game.
Yes.
Right? And you guys have your specialty, you have your dishes, but that's all within that structure.
Exactly.
So now it's like, okay, what can stay? What can be reheated?
Correct.
So that's a big thing. So, and this is something you guys have never done before.
Never done it. And David looked at me, dude, if we can only do 100 meals a week and take out, the expenses and everything else, can you imagine how much money we can make a week? Would be so great. And I was like, David.
Yeah, okay. The money sounds good, but what's the actual work? What's the actual legwork? How much time is it going to take?
And I'm trying to put all of these hurdles, and I'm trying to, explain to him why we should not do it, this, that, and the third. And he looks at me, well, Tiago, this is it. Whenever you come back, I'm expecting menus.
Yeah, we do.
I'm expecting. I'll never forget.
Because I know it'll ride with me. I know this.
I'm expecting menus. You know, you don't need to do a 10-week cycle. Just do a 5-week cycle, okay? See what's healthy, see what's not healthy, see the price point on things, figure out you're on vacation. When we come back, we're starting.
That's another piece too. So I'm assuming that all of your catering with the assisted living, food health is definitely a priority, right?
Absolutely.
But when you're doing catering, you just want it to be delicious.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You know, you have your steak, you have your chicken, you have your main course, but you just want it to be delicious. A lot of desserts, things like that. So now, when you guys take down this venture, it's not only deciding a menu that can be reheated and can stay, you also have to be health conscious.
Correct.
But that also brings up the challenge of you got to make it delicious.
Yes.
Because the general perspective on healthy food is that it's bland, it sucks, I don't want to eat it. So how can we incorporate this is a completely new venture for you guys. Not only food that's not going from kitchen to table to the mouth, but from kitchen to a Tupperware to be reheated, but also healthy, but also palatable and delicious.
Yes.
We were so not prepared for this that even the thought that goes into the container, we use whatever container we started with, and all of a sudden we have a picture. Somebody just sent us a picture of a melted container with food. My heart dropped. I was like,
seriously.
We didn't think about it. Like, it needs to be microwavable. How easy is that? But we didn't think about it, right? There's so many little things that we need to think about it.
Steve, the first week.
But this isn't new for you guys. When you guys started the catering company, you got your fucking asses handed to you. And you went back. You went back. You failed, and you went back, and you fucking figured it out.
Absolutely.
Most people would say, "Fuck this! I'm going back to my day job." Right, dude. That's the difference. You guys know the fucking jam. When you started catering, you got your ass handed to you. Yeah. When you started food prep, you're melting containers. What are you gonna do? You're gonna give up? You're gonna figure it out?
No.
It was a lot of orders the first week, Steve. The first week was. I'm expecting 50, 100. I would be happy with 100. That was like
100 meals.
100 meals.
Okay.
The first week, I'll never forget, was about 232 meals. I'll never forget.
So about 2.5 times what you were expecting.
And we never did this. And we're not promoting, we're not.
We just put a little post, right?
On Instagram.
But people wanted it because we had a little reputation because we had a lot of, we did a lot of friends parties, a lot of events, summer parties, one before this. So people kind of knew us a little bit, right? You had a little fun.
By the way, we do food prep too.
Yes.
By the way, if you want to eat like this all week,
yes,
it's a beautiful funneling system.
We use the
you
same
cater a party, you knock it out of the park. Beautiful funnel system.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So one thing, like, this kid has he's a very strong personality. I have a very strong personality. So every time there's a new situation, we presented with something new, we have to kind of duke it out. We have to kind of fight a little bit to see where things fall.
So what you're speaking to is your strong personalities when they come together, you guys...
In a new situation.
Yeah. But you know what? You guys both have the same end goal. And at the end of the day, you guys both have each other's backs. And that's
huge.
When you hear that situation, like we both have strong personalities and we have to duke it out when there's a decision to be made, my perspective would be like, well, you're fucked. It's not going to work out.
Yeah.
But you guys genuinely have each other's backs. You guys have the same end goal.
You have that foundation, man.
So it works. It'll always work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think in the end of the day, we just want, honestly, what's best for the customer. I don't care if I need to work an extra hour and a half or 2 hours.
Yeah.
In the end of the day, I just want the customer to be happy. That's what it boils down to.
Of course.
And David, he comes up with these crazy ideas and throws stuff on the wall. I'm like, David, this is not going to work. What about the profit margin? Look how expensive this thing is. Look at this. Look at that. But
sometimes you might not make as much money, but like the reaction, the messages, the encouragement, the difference you make somebody's day is huge. That's money. That's everything, right? You don't need to make sometimes you make a little less, but what you get back from people.
But that's also the data and the experience necessary to apply to your craft to change it so that it can be, so that it's doable and it's profitable and you get more word of mouth and build. That's how you build your craft.
Yeah.
It's just part of the process. So about a year and a half ago, you guys started doing this.
Yep.
10 meals. You came back from vacation and you said, "Let's do it."
Yeah,
your first weekend, 232 meals.
Yep.
And then what happened then? When did you start coming here? Is that around the time you came
around
here?
D brought me here.
Okay. Yep.
Everybody knows D. Shout out.
Yeah. Shout out to D.
Huge.
Left us in Texas. He seems like he's doing okay down there.
No, he's doing good.
I miss him. We need him.
Yeah.
So D was huge, right? D lived in a city in Portugal right next where I used to live. He was
You guys knew D before you came
No,
here?
I didn't know him, but he used to live.
All right.
Actually, in high school, I fought his cousin. We spoke about it, but I didn't even know.
Oh, yeah?
It's crazy. Interesting. So, yeah. Anyways, so we met each other at Gold's. We both from Portugal. We came around the same time. So we kind
Gold's
of
over here at the end of...
yes.
Yeah, all right.
So we kind of kicked it over there. We became cool. Like,
So for the listeners, Gold's is a gym up the street, and they closed probably a year or so before... Oh, no, right around the time I expanded here.
Yes.
So a lot of members that came here were Gold, and Gold was a great gym in the sense that a lot of the members there were diehard members. They went there every day. So when Gold's went down, those people needed a place to go because they were avid gym goers.
I kind of floated around, and then D was posting the hell out of this gym. I was like, oh, I'll work out with you. And I came in, and you shook my hand for the first time, and I was intimidated as fuck.
I did?
Yeah, because you're like, you friendly enough, introduce yourself, Steve. You a large human. I've been a lot big, like, you big dude. Your hand, like, I just followed mine. I was a little, like, God damn. Like, you know what I mean? So, I don't think if I told you that. So I was a little intimidated, whatever. But it was nice atmosphere here, right? And I was doing the meal prep. So things kind of stalled a little bit with the meal prep, right? So I used to, and I know D has a little following, and I know D knows all the members here. I did not. I'm kind of a little quiet. I'm more shy here.
Yeah.
So I used to bring him little bags with food over here, and used to make a little video and now tag us, tag the gym, so people start being aware of it, right? And sometimes the bags didn't even have food. You just want to give us a little strength, right? You know, sometimes, shout out for D for helping us out. So, and then you had a cookout here. You had a cookout here, and you asked the members to bring something, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna let them know what time it is. So I brought you. Yeah, you remember
I must have not been aware that you offered food prep at that time.
No, we don't like to be in people's face.
Yeah.
Back
then you didn't, but now that you got it going on, you have no problem going to people.
Still, I don't reach out to people. Like, you give me some context, right? All the gyms that we sell from now, usually people that know somebody. I just don't go completely strangers. Maybe in the future I'll have to do that.
Yeah.
But right now, just stay connected. Anyways, so I was like, okay, I gotta let them know because nobody knew I was a chef really. So okay, let me let them know what time it is. So I brought a huge case of flank steak. Thiago seasoned it.
Yep.
Beautiful flank steak, and I just dropped it off. You guys loved it. And
I remember. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Was it cooked? It wasn't cooked.
No, it was not cooked.
So you dropped it and I grilled it.
Correct.
I remember. Yeah, it was fucking ridiculous because I was messing around with flank steak for a little while because of the lean cut. It wasn't as expensive as a fillet, so I was messing with flanks. Like I could never really quite get it right. And I also had never seen such a big cut of flank. You brought maybe 5 or 6 pieces, and they were like they were bigger than the goddamn cutting board. Took up the whole grill. If I remember, I had to cook. I had to cook one at a time, and I remember they were beautifully seasoned. Yeah. And there was a couple different flavors as well. Yes. I remember now. Yeah, that was an outdoor cookout. Yeah, and it was perfect. I do remember that. So I kind of
dropped it off and let it do the work. And I knew it was good because Thiago is a fantastic job with seasoning steak. So after that, you kind of knew we did meal prep. We kind of like we did an event for you before we started selling the meal prep here. You asked us to do your event. We did was a success.
It might have been a competition or
it was. Yes, it was.
Competition.
It was definitely a competition.
Maybe a strongman comp.
Yeah.
It might have even been Ocean State Strongest, the one that I just posted. Potentially.
Could have been.
Whatever. So you cater one of the events.
So people get to know us a little bit. We didn't make that much money, but I knew it's not about the money. It was about like people getting to know us a little bit. That's everything. And then you we did meal prep. And Steve, man, you everything, man. You came up to us and told, why don't you sell it here? You told us that.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm not good. I didn't feel like I was good enough, Steve.
Well, I had dealt with, I had 2 meal prep companies previously, and I was just trying to get them to step up. I was just trying to get them to do a little bit more, offer more meals, offer different options. Also, just like, hey, man, like this dude's 280 pounds, this chick's 110. Can you offer like an 8-ounce option and a 4-ounce option? And it was just like kind of too much. So I was kind of in the market to be able to, because I can tell you as a trainer, getting people to learn how to lift weights and getting them to stick to it and how to work out is easy. Getting people to cook their own fucking food is impossible. People will not fucking do it. So if I could find a decent prep company that could take care of that, that would take a lot off my plate and people would get better results. because it's 100% nutrition, 100% training. You know, it's not, you can't have one without the other. And people will just not do the work and get in the goddamn kitchen. So I always was kind of like, what's the story? Can I find somebody? So after eating your food, I was like, listen, if you prep food, I'll carry it here.
Yeah.
So I remember that conversation.
Remember
now.
that, Tiago? Like, I told dude, you're not good enough. We're not good enough. Because I know Steve, Top is big in the community. People know you, right? And the fact that you were willing to get involved with us, put your name behind us, that gave us so much confidence.
Dude, I tasted your fucking food.
But Steve, but you didn't want anything from us, bro. Like, you didn't want anything from us.
Exactly.
No, I didn't want to make any money off your food. I wanted you guys to feed my members.
And you gave us so much confidence. And I tell you that, I don't tell it all the time because it's invaluable, the confidence you gave us. Because I know my food's good, but the support you put behind this is really the foundation. That's when you started to really get, all right, is we good enough for Steve? Because I know you don't fuck with everybody. You were fucking with us. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
That was huge.
I mean, even just the whole idea behind this business, this gym, this facility, this culture it's a quality over quantity business model. I have no interest in having 5,000 members. I want, paying $9 a piece. I'd rather have 400 or 500 paying 60, and then being like, "Hey guys, it's going to be 70." And when I say it's 70, I want everyone to be like, "No problem."
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm about that. I've had a lot of people approach me and want me to, have more of an online presence, do more YouTube, do this, do that, and the other. And I'm very hesitant to do it because I don't want to deal with the ocean. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I want to have a nice quality thing, because I believe that. I believe having quality circles, quality resources. If I got good chefs that I can count on, I can check that box and I can move the fuck on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I did. I'm being sincere. I saw something in you guys. Speaking to you, shaking your hand, having you here. I also watched you train, and you squatted like 3 times a week. So I'm like, this guy's legit. He's not over here doing fucking lateral raises and bicep curls and chest flies. And I said, you know what? I think this could work. And like I said, I tasted your food. I tasted your food.
But that's not Steve. You saw something in us we didn't see, right? And you didn't want anything from us, and that doesn't happen, man.
That's what I want to add to it. Usually, people that see stuff in us, they always look, okay, how can it happen?
They see dollar signs.
We smell it.
They see dollar signs,
especially as we get more experienced. We know who.
How can I make a buck off this guy?
Exactly. With you was never like that. I remember one time, the first time, and I was so proud. I still have it. You put our logo in one of your shirts
that was so
for the
cool.
competition. I'll never forget it.
That was so cool.
It really was, dude. It really was.
My God. Why the fuck wouldn't I do that? Man.
I still have the shirt. It's
I get one every event. I get the shirt and I save it. I don't even wear it.
Yeah, I don't wear my shirt.
I'll have to give you guys.
You know what it is? You know what it is, Steve? And the simple fact, and call me crazy, because me and David are like this too. The simple fact that you just look at us and say, "Hey, you know what? I got a shirt for you guys," and we ask you, "Hey, how much is it?" No, just take it. Every competition that you have here, and our logo is on the back of the shirt. And I always tell David this: Steve never asked us to pay for the shirt, even if we want to pay. Like, you're just a good person. So it has been a pleasure to, this collab with the meal prep has been really, really good.
We needed that confidence you gave us. I bet you didn't even know this, man. And I don't want to make it about I don't want to blowing you in or anything else, but like the confidence you gave us, man, like we needed that so much. You give us that foundation, but okay, we sell at Top Strength. And when I say that, I'm so proud of saying that. Steve Tripp. And when I went out to other gyms, I always say your name. Right?
Does it fucking count for him?
Yeah, he does. He does, Steve. Of course he does, man. There's not, we of course, we're not branching too fast. It's just enough, right? We started branching out recently. And we all say your name, right? We're so proud of that. It's special.
Well, I mean, I'm being sincere. I'm very taken back by that. But it's also very odd because it's odd for me to hear that because I feel the same. I feel pride, and I'm excited to tell people that I work with you guys because I know you personally, and like I said maybe a half an hour ago when I spoke about even if your food sucked, I would still want to work with you because you're just the kind of guys that you can tell that you come from somewhere and you take pride in what you do, and you're good people, and you're just the kind of guys that you want to see do well. I really like the point you brought up about how when you connect with somebody, be it another business owner or even just a regular person, and you provide a service, they maybe they see dollar signs and they see how can I make money off this person. That's not something that I think is in the forefront of my mind, but subconsciously I get that. And I think to play to that point, I don't really think I see that. I see kind of like, how can we help each other to grow? As a business owner, as an entrepreneur, I kind of hate using that term, but you know what? It's my responsibility to make my fucking money. It's my responsibility. And I'm a trainer and I own a gym. Okay. That's how I make my money. I don't make money selling food. Okay. You guys make money selling food. It just so happens that there's a tremendous amount of crossover in our businesses. I don't need to make money off your food. I need you guys to feed my clients so they can build muscle, burn fat, and crush workouts. And I'll make my money teaching them how to lift weights and writing the diets that you guys make the food for. I don't got to make money off your meals. It accents each other. Did I communicate that eloquently?
Yes.
Our audience, did that make sense to you? Yeah. So and that's not something that I think I consciously am thinking of when I do it, but it's a subconscious thing. I don't need to make money off your guys' meals. I know the value in having that service, yes. And that will build. That'll build my audience to distribute my services to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, Steve, there has been other gyms that have reached out that want to work with us when we first started, doing meal prep. And just a side note, and we did not engage because we were not ready. I knew, and David knew this, that if we would engage to start serving our meals to other gyms, the quality we would make more money, but the quality of the food would suffer. And until this day, it's something that it's in my head. It does not matter if I'm banging out 1,000 meals on a Sunday, if the 1,000 meals, don't taste good, if the quality is not there, if the presentation is not there, and that's something that we really take into consideration. And that's why that when we were like, blowing up, which I think we still have long ways to go, we really declined some partnerships because of that. And maybe we could have been further now, or maybe I don't know.
I
but
think
that's what it felt right.
I think that's a big picture, long term strategy. And what ends up happening is when you dilute your services, maybe you can make some more cash over the next 6 months, maybe over the next year, maybe not even that long. But what will end up happening is you continue to dilute your product. Yeah, you'll make some cash, but it's not going to continue to grow. You will reach a ceiling, and then eventually you'll become irrelevant. Yep. And another pair of brothers who are prioritizing their quality will eventually pass you up. So I think that's the right approach for long-term success. And also being able to be happy putting your sticker, putting your name on something. That's important.
So proud. We knew that this thing is, I think, still a little fragile, right? Because it's new. So a baby, we really have to take care of it, make sure we take our time, everything's consistent, right? That's huge. I look at this business as a little baby that needs all the care, and we can't mess up, man. We can't give bad food. That'll ruin us.
Yeah, and it's funny because as you guys are doing, how many meals you guys do last weekend?
Too many.
Give me a number. Come on. If you guys started, it was 200, and you've grown.
Yeah.
The thing is you guys have so many more meals, right? Every meal has to be right.
Exactly. Not a specific number, but over 600 meals.
Okay. Yeah. And I know you guys have a wait list. I know you guys have more people.
And me and David,
you probably could be doing 6,000 if you wanted to.
We just cook one day at this time. This is one day.
This is one day. Everything is on Sunday.
We cook in the morning, nice and early, and we pack nice and fresh.
We pack.
So the entire Brothers and Moffat food prep company, the entire business is executed in one day, 24 hours on Sunday.
Half a day because the other half is just delivering meals, really, like handing meals out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you all right? So that kind of leads into the next question. So what's in the future? What's your guys' next jam? So are you guys both still working full time at the assisted living?
I'm working full time.
I'm not.
You made the move.
I'm unemployed.
Good for you, my friend. Good for you. No, that's a big move. How does that sit with you? Okay, you okay with that? Because
Yes.
I assume now the
Yes and
response.
no.
You were scared for me. You were scared for me.
I assume now the Brother and Moffat responsibility. It probably was 50-50 up until this point, but now he's all Brother and Moffat. So
It's hard to pry a responsibility off his hands, man. I have to fight him.
That's why I ask.
I like,
because
bro,
if you
like-
think if it's 50-50, let's just put a number on it. Now it should probably be 70-30.
It's weird. It's weird.
It's hard for you.
It's weird.
It's hard for you.
And I'll be honest with you.
So
like,
he's like, fine, quit your fucking job. You're like, no, I can't.
No, I'll never tell. I know how serious he is about
Yeah.
it. I'll never put him in that position. And he was scared for me. I thought, bro, we got bills, man. We got mortgage, bro. You cannot, like,
yeah,
watch
we
out.
had that conversation.
But you know what he said next day? I got you. If you need it. I knew that. And
Yeah.
I know. Like, I knew if things goes out.
Have you been able to diffuse some of your responsibilities onto him now that he has more time?
Yes, but yes, absolutely. But it's so weird, right? Because
You had your responsibilities. He had his up until this
Exactly.
point.
I gotta like persuade him a little bit. And I mean, slowly.
it's weird for me to.
I can tell you as a business owner, that is perhaps when people ask me what's the hardest part of owning a business, it's that. It's diffusing responsibilities. It's and it comes with a few pieces. There are many dynamics to hiring employees or sharing responsibilities with somebody else for a few reasons. For one, there's a way you like to do things. Okay,
Of course.
whatever it may be, and from my perspective, it's social media posts, it's the way that the gym should be laid out, ordering apparel, designing apparel, the accounting, the numbers. There are all these things that fall under the umbrella of owning a business, and when you eventually, as you grow, you need help, and it's challenging to decide which responsibilities you're okay with giving somebody else. And what it comes down to is being willing to devote the time to teach that person how you want it done, to invest in that person. And also, really, probably the biggest piece is accepting that there's a lot of different ways to bake a cake, and it's okay.
Yeah.
As long as it gets done, even if it's not my way, it's okay. And if I'm not okay with the way they're doing it, be patient, be understanding, and take some time to sit down and communicate to them. And I've found 100 out of 100 times they're very receptive and they're very understanding, and they do what I ask. And also, if I listen to them and they have feedback, if they have opinions, if they have different ways, a lot of the times it's great, But that was very challenging me in the onset to diffuse my responsibilities. I wanted to do everything myself because I wanted it done a certain way, and I also. Good help's hard to find, and a lot of the times someone does shit and it just seems like they fuck everything up. But I have to take responsibility. It's my responsibility to communicate to them the way that I want it done. Am I kind of making sense?
No, absolutely,
Perfect sense.
absolutely.
That's been the most challenging thing for me as I continue to grow,
Yes.
to be able to empower other people and put trust in other people that they'll do things the way
time.
that
You
I
learn
think is
yourself.
necessary.
Yeah.
You're teaching yourself at the same time, right? You're learning.
Constant learning
Learning
process.
yourself.
Which I think is probably the greatest part of doing your own thing. If you're the kind of person that always wants to grow, always wants to adapt, always wants to carve your, like you said, you left that job because it wasn't enough. It didn't enable you to grow. And I need that. Or else I don't feel fulfilled. I get tired. I get lazy.
The
I don't feel
novelty
good.
or the excitement of getting something new or getting to, like, for example, your clients, you send people to us that, for example, the bulk chicken, the bulk protein. You didn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, we open. Oh, you want bulk chicken? Shout out to Ashley.
Yeah.
Or people that are in prepping for shows. Cat.
Yeah.
It's such a huge responsibility, and they give it to us. That's so flat. We love that, right? We didn't do that, but now we do.
That's a lot of work, though.
Now we do that.
The show, Steve,
That's
the
a
show.
lot. That's a lot more on you.
It's cool. It's cooking.
It's cooking.
It's cooking, but when
it's
you
different.
when you have 600 meals and you have a menu, you can execute those 600 meals. But now if you have another 50 meals, they need to be done a certain way, cooked in a different oil, not
Yes.
spiced the same way. It's 50 more meals, but it's 500 times the work.
But still, we want to do it.
Yeah.
I think,
Don't shy.
Kat, I'm not trying to interrupt, but like she unlocked another door for Brother and Moffat. You know, people that are prepping for shows.
Yeah.
You know, and really seeing.
We learned.
Of course, it's not.
It's a massive market.
It's not all us. Of course, she needs to work out and she needs to do cardio and she needs to eat right whenever she's not eating our meals. But it's just to see her what she did with her
how
body.
much you contributed to that process.
In the text messages, because in the first like 3-4 weeks, it was rocky. It was
Yeah.
you know,
She was willing to help us.
but she was patient. She explained, and then she sent me and David the email that her trainer,
coach sent them, yeah.
her coach sent her, and I had to read it.
That's
and
our boy
read it
Justin
again.
Justin Randall.
Yes.
Shout
There
out
you
to
go.
Justin.
Yes.
Yeah, beast.
So
Not that he needs more fucking business. He's got enough going on.
but it's just to read it, and you know, we have our sister Anna.
Yes, our sister works with us. It's 3 of us, actually.
3 of us.
How long has she been working
You
with
should
you
be
guys?
siblings in Moffat, if anything. Oh,
Yeah.
From the beginning, from the get-go.
Oh, guys, what is the name? What is Brothers and Moffat?
So at the time, my wife's last name. So I didn't want to have something that was ethnic. I don't sound like stupid. I don't want people to think we just make Portuguese food.
Yeah.
I need something generic,
Okay.
right? It could be a law firm. It could be a podcast, Brother Moffat. It could be anything, right? I don't want a niche. Like I said, we can do
So
anything.
the name is Brothers and Moffat. So you
Correct.
guys and your wife.
Yes.
So-
I needed something
So it doesn't sound. Let's just say Brother and Gomes.
niche.
Automatically, people to say
You also don't want to
Gomez
feel
or
like
the
you
Spanish
pigeonhole
or-
yourself or limit yourself because of your name. Like
We
Exactly.
made so many parties for so many people.
if it's too
So
Portuguese, I think you only do Portuguese.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
No, when we really
exactly.
don't.
So to go back to the show prep thing, so there's such a market for that because I live this life. I can tell you, and I do it professionally, the hardest part is food. The hardest part is food. And when it comes to, not that I compete in bodybuilding, but I've trained people to compete in bodybuilding and I'm very close to people that do those shows. Nutrition is 90% or more of the battle. It's competitive dieting.
There's a lot in it.
It's
we wanna
competitive
get into it.
dieting.
yeah.
So if you guys are willing to go that extra mile for your clients and prepare the foods the way that they need to be prepared and also portion the way they need to be portioned, if you guys are willing to take on that task, it's a huge market, but you're going to have to work. It's going to be challenging. It's
Oh yeah,
a huge
definitely.
beast.
It was a huge beast. It was like, you know, our sister would look, dude. They saw this person eating. What's going on?
Yeah.
We
You
didn't
know,
believe like 3 green beans. What is
and,
this?
what's
How?
going What's going on?
Why 3?
Yeah,
You know?
right.
So, but then Kat would pick up the food, and you would see the difference as the time goes
Every
by.
week, man.
It brings us such, because that's what she wants to do. You know,
Yeah.
she wanted to do a show. It really brought us joy to look at her and say, "Oh my God!" Even my sister. Oh my God! Look at her. Like,
It brought you fulfillment to
exactly,
see that what you were doing, as much work as it was, you could see what it
Absolutely.
was creating.
Absolutely.
And it's very, very special.
Absolutely.
And that says a lot about you guys to go that extra mile, to do that extra work, and find fulfillment when you see the end product.
learning.
You guys actually give a shit. You care about your clients. You care about the people you're selling food to.
It's a huge
And you see-
responsibility, man. They work. They dying, man. Not dying, but like they put like blood, sweat, and tears.
No, they're fucking dying. They're fucking dying.
I mean, they put so much into it. It's like, who am I to mess up?
Yeah,
They
12,
work.
16 weeks out from a show, sometimes longer, they're fucking dying.
That's intense.
They're dying.
So to be part of it, I'm flattered. I want to be part of it. Right? It's
Yeah.
big. I want to be part of it. I'm excited.
That says a lot about you guys as business owners, chefs, entrepreneurs, that you guys are willing to go that extra mile, because it's a lot more work from a food prep standpoint to really specialize and create very specific meals in reference to the way that it's prepped, the way that it's portioned, the way that it's spaced out, that you're willing to do that because you see the outcome. So that's very, very special.
Yes.
It's great. Excellent.
It's just, Steve, you wouldn't feel right. You wouldn't feel right using olive oil. Let's just say hypothetically, she wouldn't know. Okay, let's just say hypothetically.
Yeah.
But if we were to use olive oil,
responsibility.
I would not feel okay doing that and going home knowing that Kat's meal or whoever's, okay, instead of, you know, I don't know,
Prepping it the way you were instructed
exactly.
to prep it. Yeah.
We use olive oil, or we use
Just to save time, or
just to
be
save
easier for
time,
us.
or it's easier for us. You
No.
can't. You can't.
All right.
Yeah.
You just. I would definitely feel guilty.
Well, it's funny you bring up olive oil. So I'm Italian and I grew up Italian. And when I first started studying food and learning about food, that was one of the biggest changes I made is I stopped cooking with olive oil. And the dramatic change it had on me, Obviously, it's relative. If someone just uses olive oil here and there to cook, it's no big deal. But I used olive oil to cook everything that I cooked. And when I stopped, being somebody that followed a diet and trains hard, when I just stopped cooking with olive oil, I dropped 7-8 pounds of water, inflammation. My digestion was dramatically improved. These little pieces play a huge role. Play a huge role when you're trying to specialize and optimize your
olive
nutrition.
oil. One thing that people understand is a finishing oil. It's not a cooking oil.
Yeah, because of the low smoke point.
Yes, it will break up the molecules. It's no longer olive oil by the time you eat it. So it's a finishing oil. Do not cook with olive oil, please. So
I love how you put that. It's true.
Yeah,
and as an Italian, an American Italian, I cooked everything in olive oil. And like you said, when you cook with it, it literally changes the components, the molecules that it's made up, and it doesn't digest well. Olive oil raw is a fantastic fat source. It's delicious, and it also has the right balance of omegas. But when you cook with it, it completely changes the nutrient profile, and it can cause gastric distress, bloating, water retention, and all that.
I would like to get a little advice.
For me?
No, for everybody.
Oh, give a little advice.
The biggest thing that I get from people, now that we're doing bulk protein, I do not know how to cook chicken. I do not know how to cook chicken. The chicken's always dry, it's always burnt, this and that. First thing, get yourself a decent pan. A nice non-stick. I don't know if you want to add anything. A nice non-stick. $25 at a Stop and Shop. You don't need nothing fancy. $25, a nice spatula, rubber spatula. Do not scrape the bottom of a non-stick pan. That's criminal. Okay, use a nice spatula, rubber spatula, such, and do not cook anything on high. Stop.
Yeah.
Do not cook anything on high. You're not searing shit. You can't even spell searing. Well, what are you doing, like burning the food?
Well, with chicken and pork, correct me if I'm wrong, those meats need to be cooked the same throughout. So if you have high heat, then it's going to cook the outside much faster than the inside. So what ends up happening when the inside is cooked to where it needs to be, the outside's cooked way too far.
Yes.
Now with a steak or fish like salmon, I crank the heat way the fuck up. The higher the better. Sear the shit out of it, raw in the middle. You can have, what would you call that? Basically a dynamic finish where it's cooked less in the middle and on the outside with red meat and most fishes, not white fish. No. Most fish, that's okay. But when you're looking at white meat, turkey, chicken, pork, it needs to be cooked the same throughout. Correct. So low heat, you have to be a little more patient so that it's cooked the same throughout. It's not going to be cooked to the shit on the outsides and just right in the middle.
Low, medium heat, cook it, chicken, your pork, whatever, low, medium heat, just learn, dominate that. Right? But this is going against me now. I'll teach you how to cook chicken. You don't need us anymore. But just low heat, you'll be fine. Okay?
Now, here's a question. So with the steak, it's usually one flip. With chicken, pork, turkey, multiple flips?
No.
If it's just right, you can do it in one flip?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a stupid question?
No, it's not. It's actually a really good question.
Because my thought process is this: is if I have, let's say, if you can always pound it thin, and that's going to. I like where this podcast is going. This is a great little show. You can always pound it thin, but if I want to have a nice thick chicken breast, my thought process, if I want to cook the same throughout, low heat, kind of get 20% of the way on this side, 20% of the way on this side, 30, 40, 50. Now it's cooked.
One flip, fine.
But if it's just right, you can do it. But it has to be low heat.
Low heat, and then you get the browning of the chicken, right? If you do one flip, then you get a little brown on top. Looks beautiful. It's nice and juicy on the inside.
There's some cases the chicken, it is way too thick. It's just the chicken breast especially. And people just... They grab it. They don't even sear it. They don't put it on the pan. They just.
Do you have a number? Is there like a max thickness you'd recommend when it comes to chicken breast?
It can be as thick as you want. Just cook it differently. Right?
Exactly.
If it's thicker, lower heat.
This is what we do. We sear it, right? When we do bulk.
Can you cook chicken in cast iron?
Yes.
Yes.
It has to be slow though.
Slow.
Exactly.
No, actually, this is what we do. So we put a little height, get the marks on it. Put a little olive oil, a little white wine, a little bit of water, cover aluminum foil, throw it in the oven, finish in the oven.
Yep.
It's nice and moist, juicy, beautiful. That's
how I used to do before I had you guys do it. That's how I did my chicken. I would sear both sides in the pan, and then I would throw it in the oven to finish.
Yes.
And usually 250, 300.
Yeah, you don't.
And the thing is, it's in the oven. I'm in no rush. I go to work on the other part of my prep as that's finishing in there. There's no problem.
And it's covered. The moisture stays within.
If you don't want to use white wine, please get some water in there. That way it's not
interesting. Adding water.
Yeah, a little water.
If not, your chicken is going to be so dry.
Yeah,
that's how it really gets dry.
You got a little steam motion thing in there. Right?
A lot of people will demonize certain meats and say it's dry. It's like, no, you didn't cook it right.
Exactly.
Cook it up.
Exactly.
We like to try different shit. Remember I gave you a little ostrich?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, that was cool.
And also, I've been sold on chicken thighs the last couple of years, but the breast you gave me a couple of weeks was phenomenal. I'm fine doing breast from now on.
Yeah, like it was very important for us because our food is going to be reheated, not to give people dry chicken. So we went with this chicken thighs and being beautiful to make sure there's no fat in them.
But the chicken breast was fine, dude.
Yeah,
I had it 5 days later. It was
cook
great.
them properly, man.
Yeah,
pay attention.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're at about an hour 20. Two more questions I want to ask. What do you guys see for the next 6 months, year, 5 years for Brothers and Moffat? What's next for you guys?
I'll let David go.
Okay. The ambitious
he's
one.
The one.
I don't want to give it up.
He throws tons of ideas, man.
He can drop it, and then we'll kick it over to you.
You'll tell him if it's possible.
Yeah.
Yo, when we started, I want to name our meals. I was start throwing names at him. Oh, let's call the meals Booty Builder and this and that. I was like, bro, that ain't it. Chill the fuck out. I'm just out there. So, and I know we'll enjoy this so much. So we want a storefront, right? We right now in the Commissari's Chicken, Charlotte Sankofa. They've been great with us. So anyways, we want our own, but we just don't want like a regular cafe. We don't want a restaurant. We want something very specific, right? I want an experience, right? I want you to come in and watch us cook, right? To come in, I want an open area, right? Where you can see what we're doing. Where you can have.
I love restaurants that do that.
Listen,
that is such a different atmosphere when you go to a restaurant and you can see right in the kitchen and the fucking fire's ripping.
Yes.
You can smell the food so much more, and you see the chefs running around like maniacs. It not only is such an experience, like you said, but it also offers some more appreciation for all that goes into that plate that's going to be set in front of you in 5 or 10 minutes.
Some kitchens have like a divider or anything. I don't even want a divider. I want you to come in the kitchen, just 5 tables, no walk-ins, reservation only for brunch. Okay, I want to make the best brunch in Rhode Island.
This guy stuck on brunch.
I want that
this
so
guy
much.
loves brunch.
Who doesn't love brunch, bro? We can cook anything.
Bitches love brunch, man, and they'll spend whatever the fuck you
I
want.
not like brunch,
They'll spend whatever you want, man. They love that shit.
You love brunch too, I see you, Steve.
No doubt, man. Yeah, no doubt.
So I want a small, intimate space. This guy has so.
It sounds like you have an interest in actually interacting with your patrons as you're preparing the food.
So dope.
So you're not only going to be the server, but you're going to be the chef as well.
Yes,
he loves that, man. He loves talking.
I take so much pride in
he loves.
Sounds like you fucking hate
no,
it.
but no. I'm always stay behind. He's the one that go see people. I don't see people. He's the one that see the people. I stay behind.
I go and I know 95% of the customers' names. If I don't know their real names, the Instagram, or I know who goes on vacation, who has a baby. Who
yes, he tells me.
When
you bring this person's food, ask him for his father if the father's okay because they're recently sick. He's great at talking to people. I'll be talking to you about aliens or some stupid shit, right?
Yeah,
I'm not good at that.
Well, it's different types of conversation.
Yes, he's really good.
It's kind of like entertaining, enthusiastic,
weird.
and people will be drawn to that. But then there's also the personalized conversation where you actually know who you're speaking to. It goes a bit deeper than that.
He's good.
It's both very, very important.
It's not that I hate. Not really. It's not that I hate, but dealing with human beings, you know this because you own the gym.
It's fucking brutal.
It's very tough sometimes.
It's also exhausting.
I don't want
you love talking to people.
I worked in trades my whole life. I'm talking back-breaking work, 90, 110 degrees on a roof, sweating my ass off. I show up to work weighing 240 pounds. I come home weighing 210. Baking, working. And I love that shit. I'll put it in. And at the end of the day, you're fucking exhausted. All you want to do is take a cold shower, eat, and pass out. Dealing with people is fucking exhausting.
But don't you find that you have 15 people that like
the right people?
But sometimes
the right people is invigorating.
You don't need too many of those people. You just need one once in a while. It'll help you deal with everybody else.
Absolutely,
I feel like
being around the right people is fuel.
And
it's
you meet
huge.
so many new people. It's so cool.
You do. It's really great meeting new people, new backgrounds. Just people's experience, and people do talk. But there's those days.
Our clientele is so diverse too. So many cool people.
I'll tell you what, that kind of business model but you're the show.
No, not real. No, because
In that business model where you have
yes.
5 people, reservation only, you're in the middle of there cooking for all of them.
Yeah.
You're the
We can
wait
talk.
you're the wait staff, you're the chef,
Yeah.
you're the show.
not real. Because
You're the show.
I won't be talking to
The
them.
food-
I'll be
the food's the show.
I don't want to hear about aliens at brunch. They want to talk about their mom and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So they want to hear from me. I'll
So
make it
now-
weird.
now-
I'll make it
now-
uncomfortable.
Now that brick and mortar, that facility you have now, I assume in order to make it that it's worth it, you will serve brunch, but that I assume will also be the facility that you do the rest of your cooking in as well.
I want prepared foods, cafeta thing.
Yeah.
Prepared foods. People don't have time.
There's a place over in East Providence called Italian Kitchen
Not familiar.
or something like that, and they have the best lunch. I don't want to say lunch meat, but sliced meat. So you can go there and it's kind of like a la carte. They have all the Italian famous dishes like the stuffed peppers and all different sauces, manicotti, raviolis, all made fresh. But they open it on the weekends. I think limited hours, Saturday 8 to 1, Sunday 8 to 1, whatever, and you can go in and it's essentially a cafe, a restaurant. So it's essentially like a place that you go and a la carte buy products, but it doubles as kind of a cafe, limited time on the weekends.
Kind of like that, yeah. You still want to be in the fitness industry. I think we're just scratching the surface. Like, I'm so into this. Like, I didn't know there was bodybuilding, CrossFit, power man, strongman. I had no idea there was all these categories.
So over the last, I want to say 2-3 months is when you started branching out to other gyms and other facilities.
Yes.
Do you know offhand where you're at? Can you call out some of the local gyms that you're in?
Yes. I have some local gyms. So Top Strength, of course. Fitness Rising. Who else?
Fitness Rising's in Lincoln.
Correct. Fitness Rising in Lincoln.
You got hooked up with Ironclad, Ocean State CrossFit?
We spoke. We
Okay.
spoke this week. So we'll see what happens. I don't want to like get ahead of myself.
Yeah. You're up
Great.
at Strength Discovery
Yes.
all the way up in Peabody. My buddy Dave.
Yes, David. Actually, all the people. Steve, I didn't tell everybody I was going to quit my job. I told a few people. I told you. You know what you said to me?
What?
I'll make sure you're busy. Let me know. I'll make sure you're busy, David. You told me that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm in the network.
But
I know a
you
lot of
didn't
gyms.
you didn't just say that. I know because you don't just say shit. You said it. You looked in my eyes and say, "I'll make sure you're busy."
Yeah.
You meant that shit.
I did mean it.
And before I start branching out, I said, Thiago knows this. I said, Steve, can I use your name? It's like, what? Oh, you want my contacts, David? It's like, no, Steve, I don't want your contacts, but can I use your name? Can I say, I don't want people to come to you, all these goons over here calling me to using your name.
I couldn't believe
right?
you even felt like you had to ask. I couldn't believe
Steve,
it.
your name is everything, bro. Like, and
The reason
again.
why I said, when you said I want to go on my own and I want to do this full time, I thought in my head, I said, okay, how can I help with that? I have.
Why though? People don't think like that. Steve, that's special. I don't know what else to say.
Well,
Like
I wouldn't do that for just anybody.
I know
you guys. I enjoy you guys, and I know you guys can do it. I eat your food, and you guys have catered my events. I know you guys are capable. So there's a reason why I did that. You earned, for what it's worth, you earned that that vote and confidence. So I thought in my mind, I said, all right, well, you guys have every event that I do, and you guys claim that when you cater events here, it's profitable, and it's also a great way to get your product out there and build your food prep company. I thought off the top of my head about a half a dozen gyms that I know don't have food.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about. I didn't think Strength Discovery because it's kind of fall.
I don't care. David's fantastic. Super easy.
I knew
He's
my
like straight business.
one of my favorite people in the world, Andre, is up at Barbell.
Oh,
88.
Andre! Shout out to Barbell.
Shout out to Andre and everybody at Barbell.
dope.
And I think the reason why I love Andre as much as I do is he shares the same business model. He feels the same way. People are important to him. Relations are important to him.
There was a couple of times that things, were not exactly what he wanted, and he took the time to talk to me. Right? He was not. He was always helpful, always kind. In a way, he spoke
Not out
to
of
me.
frustration.
No,
but
it's always kind. Like, and I try. And my impulse is, let me fix it. Let me fix it right away. I was like, bro, relax. You got me next week.
Yep.
Always his attitude. So shout out. He's helping me.
So
truly.
that was kind of my thought. I knew that I do probably, what do you think, maybe 10 events a year. So I knew you guys would always have first priority on those. Yes. I know Andre's going to have events, and I thought about other gyms like the CrossFit gyms in the area, and also just when you guys cater an event here, like you said, when you guys cater your first event, I just picture all the spectators, all the athletes, all the families, they all have parties. They all want, they want it to be catered. They all want food. They all want meals. So I just said, I think the only thing that's holding Brothers and Moffat back is the fact that they have full-time jobs. The work is there. It's just a matter of opening the time. So that's kind of why I suggested it to you. One, because I know you'll do the work and I believe you. And also, I know your product's good. And I know the work's out there because people don't want to cook. People can't cook.
No, people can't.
It's almost frustrating. When I post food, I get everyone's like, "Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that?" I'm like, "Bro, it's food. It's steak and rice." Like people are enamored by food. So if you guys are able to open up the time to grow your business, to grow the Brother and Moffat name, not just as a food prep but as a catering company, I think the work will be there. I know it'll be there.
Tiago travels a lot. So he knows the food scene around the world, especially Europe.
Is that kind of your gauge to travel? Is to kind of learn more about?
I love traveling.
You used to go to Austria to operas, in a tuxedo.
I see that.
You know
I bet you look good in the tux.
You know what it is,
Steve?
It's. I used to go to resorts, right? Jamaica, Mexico, whatever. And people might hate me for saying this. You going to one, you going to them all.
Yeah.
Period. Maybe the beach might be better on this one and that one, but
I've never been into all-inclusive shit.
Exactly.
I want to order what I want to order, and also if I'm going there to party, it's all well drinks, and all I'm doing is buying a nasty fucking hangover.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I want, and granted, you want to have a good time, but the thing is that if I go out, I want to order my food, I want to order my drink, and I get the all-inclusive thing from a cost benefit, but I agree with you very, very much. Cruises, all-inclusive resorts, it's all the same shit.
It's all the same. So, what I've been doing, I go to Portugal, visit my mom. My mom is over there. And then me and my older brother and his wife,
They're all still in Portugal?
They're all still in Portugal. My oldest brother's in Portugal. And we go on vacations together, and we usually go to Europe. We just travel Europe. And, my brother's a foodie. As you can see, I love food, and I just want to try everything or as much as I can out the menu. And then,
it's a great way to practice your craft.
You bring something, always bring something from vacation.
And
a sauce or something like that.
I always try my best to bring something from vacation. On the phone, I write down what the ingredients are and everything else. Or I even ask the chef, people, it's all about conversation and talking. Sometimes I ask for the chef, and the chef comes out, and I ask.
Do you write off all your travel?
Yes.
You can write it all off.
So
you can write it all off, all your travel, all your expenses, everything. It's
awesome.
it's R&D.
Yes.
It's R&D for Brothers and Moffat.
So it just I enjoy traveling. Everywhere I go, I try to pick something, that we can use for meal prep or even catering. It sometimes works, Steve. Sometimes it doesn't work. But I think we always trying new stuff.
But that works in America because this goes to the point I want to make. Americans are super open-minded when it comes to food. Nobody's open-minded as American, right? You Italian American, but you try sushi, right?
Of course.
You tried Thai food. And the diversity of foods around here, authentic food. And the willingness of people trying food here is spectacular. I love that about America.
I'm glad you brought that point because that's something I didn't bring up. Every time you guys have catered an event, I think you guys have done just about half a dozen.
Yeah.
It's always so different. It's always so different. And I remember, and I don't doubt it, but when you tell me what the menu is, I'm kind of like, all right, we'll see how this goes.
I'll do the tacos so bad. Like,
and it's always fucking banging. Because to me, I'm like, dude, listen, steak, rice, chicken, vegetables, done.
Yes.
But you're like, no, I want to do these seafood tacos.
I want to have fun. Okay. I want to have fun, man. I want to have fun.
The tacos was his idea again.
Were you kind of like, okay?
No, I was very against it because to me,
he made the sauces. He made the chicken.
Dude, it was fucking banging.
Dude, I was so
stuffed.
against
I was
it.
stuffed, and I think I was competing. I was stuffed. I should not have had another serving, but I did.
This motherfucker was against it, but he put all these know-how into that shit.
Yeah.
And he came out gangster.
That's great, and that's a very special quality. Even if you might not think it's the best idea, you see it through. You see it through, and then if it works out. Now you have another tool in your belt. You have another tool.
Yeah,
you have something in your back pocket.
I think Brother and Moffat would not be here if he wasn't for David's ideas. Period.
Yeah,
but your execution.
Yes, we need that shit.
Yeah.
All of these ideas that he has, and let's do this and let's do that.
I'm sure he tells you, but when I see him a lot more than I see you. He praises you constantly when you're not around. I'm sure you know that, but he praises you constantly.
I know. I can't.
And it's great to hear you praise him. You're over here saying Brothers and Moffat is nothing without David.
No,
and David's always like, Brothers and Moffat is nothing without you.
Because I know I can be myself and be wild and I can be out there because I know he can back it up. He can help me bring my craziness into reality.
Yeah.
Right? I know that's
It's perfect. It's beautiful. And you said it was your sister that works for you?
Yes, Anna, big shout out. Hardest working woman. Yo, this lady, beast.
So
beast.
her task is execution. You guys have
She
you have it
packs
laid out?
everything. So this lady optimizes everything, the process, the weighing things. If I try to weigh things, it takes me so long. This lady is a machine.
Beautiful.
He optimizes all the process. It's not because of my sister, but this
The
woman,
process
like,
is,
this
yeah,
can work.
definitely. You know, because you can do beautiful food, right? You can
Yeah.
cook, but
The
you
nitty-gritty.
need a process.
Then you have to package it. You have to
exactly.
label
The
it.
packaging
It has to look good.
You know, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, let's just say,
For lack of a better word, kind of the busy work.
Exactly.
It's very, very time consuming.
Exactly. You know,
And people can say that that's not very skill oriented, but being able to do it in a fashion that's able to be scaled can be very, very
Consistent.
challenging. There's definitely
Steve,
there's
it's
a
definitely
huge
very
skill
challenging.
involved in that.
Consistent.
because we've been doing this for a little bit now. I think she
A
took,
year and a half, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
She took one Sunday off.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare,
So-
man.
yeah,
it was a
without her,
nightmare,
like-
man. I
I
did
need
not
that
want to pack, man. It was, oh my goodness.
Me, I'm out there. I'm just like listening to podcasts. I'm just fucking shit up. Like I don't know what I'm doing. Right? I'm just in La La Land. But that lady, she's focused.
Okay, so the next step is possibly a cafe, a brick and mortar facility.
Yes, sir.
Very interactive, where you actually are interacting with the chef. The chef
Yes.
serves as the cook. I assume you'll probably hire a dishwasher, but you're also going to be serving the food.
I love
Right?
doing the
Yeah.
dishes. Actually,
He
I enjoy
he
it.
does
What?
the dishes.
Dude, what's the best thing? You put the headphones on. Listen to me. Listen to this. I'm not crazy.
I think he's talking to a microphone and bullshit the audience. There's no way.
Look at my nails. I do all the pots and pans.
No,
You're like
I
a
fight
si-
him when he tries to do it. 'cause
You're
he
like a
feels so
single
sorry for
mother.
me. No, I
You
love,
wash and dry.
You know what it is? I put my both headphones, and he doesn't talk to me. I put my both headphones at the end of the day while you're going to seeing the customers and all that, and I'm just like daydreaming. While you don't need to think about what you're doing, right? Your mind, it can go anywhere.
There's a tremendous amount of thought and process that goes on through my mind when I'm executing tasks, doing busy work, when I'm training, when I'm exercising.
Mindless.
Yeah.
It's mindless, so you can go anywhere. You're not doing pots and pans. We're in Jamaica.
It's mindful. It's very mindful mindlessness.
No, you in fucking Mars while you do pots and pans. I'm not there. I'm not there. How many times he tried to talk to me, and I'm just not there.
David.
Yeah, exactly.
David!
Exactly.
Yes,
But he knows.
yes.
He really doesn't bother me that much because he knows I'm just like. going.
There's stages throughout the day on Sunday. So, you know, when
Don't
I get
talk to this
there,
dude in the morning.
Don't
Do
talk
not
to me,
talk to
Don't
him.
talk to me like for the first 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
I cannot talk to him. I know that.
Then we stop packing, and there's a process. The process needs to be done. Steve, we cooking vegetables in batches, right? As we go.
Where
So-
are you guys cooking at? You guys run to space out in Cranston,
There's
right?
in Providence, Sankofa. It's a commissary kitchen for startups. They really helped us out. They've been great. Shout out to Julius.
So,
Great.
So, yeah.
Steve, he's just like
It takes an army, my man.
Exactly.
He does.
It takes an army of people.
We all found people so much kindness and helpfulness. Even the Reliance health department, they've been given the resources for us to like be able to thrive. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I can't say this enough. That's a reflection on you guys. They don't do that for everybody.
Appreciate it.
They don't. I don't. And there's no way
I
they
know
do
you
it.
don't. That's why I was so flattered. That's like, again, I don't want to sound like a groupie, but like I was so like flattered when you really, you know.
Well, figure it out. You earned it from me. You're earning it from everyone else too. You know.
Yeah.
Sincerely, I'm just as grateful to have you guys. And it sounds like these other places too. The health department, the people
Yeah.
at the,
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
some Sankofa,
Julius,
yes,
you know,
yeah.
they're all helping you out because they know what you're doing and they appreciate it.
To the members too.
Well, it's you know it's rare. It's rare to find true passion. It's rare to find ethic. It's rare to find skill. It's rare to find a good quality product, all within one. You know, a lot of times someone will have 1, 2, or 3 of these half a dozen desirable qualities as an entrepreneur or business
Steve, can I
owner.
say just something?
It's really hard to find it all in one.
Just
Right?
one thing, right quick. You know, like you want. I know you want to be the best. I know you compete. You want the number one spot. You don't want the podium. Like
It's the only option.
that's the only out, right?
It's the only option.
My father said this once at the job site. He was a mason, right? Nobody's better than me. I will not accept. I was a kid when I heard this. I will not accept there's going to be another man that's better than me.
Yeah.
And I know this diagnosis. If there's somebody that's more skilled than me in the kitchen, I'll make sure I'll outwork him. I'll fucking peel more potatoes than that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'll outwork you. I might have skill for about. That's the I don't have.
That's the mindset. Yeah.
I want to be the best, man.
But along with that mindset of wanting to be the best, and I'm interested to see your take on this. I get a lot of shit from people for not giving myself enough credit, for not, for talking down to myself all the time. But to me, in order to be the best, you have to realize that you're not. And you always have to work. You always have to strive. You always have to grow. The second that you actually really believe that you're the best, in my opinion, is the moment where you stop growing.
You stop.
What's that line where the wolf on the top of the mountain isn't as hungry as the wolves climbing it?
Yeah.
So even if you are in fact the best, you can't see yourself as that.
But I want to. We ain't shit. I know that. But I want to. I'm willing to work. I'm willing to learn. Right? I want. But I just don't want the store. I want the best brunch in Rhode Island. And I know Rhode Island, like the food scene is insane.
Yeah, we're spoiled.
It's insane.
Yeah. Spoiled, and I'm glad to hear you guys say, because you're actually in the industry. I just eat food. I think that we are very, very spoiled when it comes to food, and I'm not as well traveled as you. So you still believe that?
Oh yeah, Rhode Island, definitely,
absolutely,
we definitely spoiled. But Steve, you just like, I'll just leave you just to piggyback on that. Sundays, me and David, we working, and then in the end of the night, 8, 9 o'clock, my phone just goes off, and his phone goes off. We texting each other for like an hour and a half. We should done this way. We should done this way.
Sorry.
Still, we should have done this way. We should have done. And then Mondays is brutal. Mondays are brutal
because you reflect on what you did on Sunday.
Because what we think.
And you're saying that's a weekly process.
Yes,
Tiago, we should have done the chicken this way. We should have played it this way. It should have been this vegetables. This should have been done this. But then the tags. The messages are starting to roll in. Hey, good job, guys. The food tasted delicious. The chicken.
That's everything.
It's just like...
It's the oxygen. We need that.
It's just like...
Because we feel like shit like
that. Because we legit feel that, man, this week meal prep wasn't as good as last week. But when the messages start rolling in simple messages, it's like, oh, you know what? The steak sauce was delicious. Or the vegetarian bowl was really good. Great. I love it. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
It really brings us back.
The feedback and the reassurance.
Exactly. Because we are so self-critical. Yes, I want to be the best chef I can be. I want to be the best meal prep in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
But the only way we believe that we will get there is by, number one,
constantly sharpening your craft.
Exactly.
Constantly seeking lessons.
Exactly.
Constantly holding yourself to a higher standard. That's very interesting. That every Sunday, every Monday, still consistently, you guys are always beating yourself up. What could we have done better? How can we improve that?
You have to be hard on yourself. You have to be hard on yourself. Others people, constructive criticism or compliments, that's oxygen to me. That's everything.
It's fuel.
I love it, right? I need that. But at the same time, I don't forget. I ain't shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay for now. Okay, this person like the vegetarian bowl. Let's re-up next week.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's just like, we always looking of ways of doing better. If we made out of hypothetically 600 meals, if we made a mistake on 3 meals, I'm sorry, people. You know who you are. Whenever we mess up, thank you for your patience. If we make a mistake on 3 meals, that sets me over the edge.
Yeah.
It's not that I need to be perfect. I just do not ever want to mess up your meals.
But we know that person that gets 600 meals. That person got 5 meals and 3 of them are fucked up. So that's how we put ourselves. That's this person's lunch, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
you can't look at the 600.
No.
The 600 is really 100 people, 100 individual people with 6 meals. So if 3 of them are shit, three of the 100 are having a bad experience.
And me and David, we're really trying, and just for the people that are listening out there, we're really trying to optimize the processes every single week. And sometimes, things fall through the cracks, and we can always be better and do better. And we're really trying to optimize processes and do better and make sure that we never have mistakes. Make sure that, because we interact with every single customer still, Steve. It's not a robot. Whoever texts us or DM us on Instagram, it is not a robot. It's either me or David logged in at all times.
We like that. We thought about having like a automatic process online where people just like choose their meal, that's it. But we like the interaction. They back and forth. Okay, you have allergies. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. Like, can you do this for me? Can you give me 7 ounces for 6? We love that.
Good.
The interaction is cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's going to prevent you from getting, enormous. But again, it's quality over quantity.
Steve, I don't care. Again, I just want to like. I don't do something special. Like I want to do something with my brother and look at it back like when I'm an old man or whatever. It doesn't matter. Like 10 years from now, I'll say, look, this is us, bro. Like we brought this to life, bro. Like this came from us. Like, you know, and it doesn't have to be huge. You just have to be good.
Yeah.
Just have to be good.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm grateful to know you guys. I'm grateful to share this space with you. Thank you guys so much for everything you do for me personally, for my gym, for my friends, for other people in the area and the industry as a whole. I wish you guys the absolute best. And thank you so much for sponsoring this podcast. You guys are the first people I reached out to.
Thank you.
And I was so taken back when you guys said you're in 100%. You're my first guest. And keep up the great work. I appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you, man.
We really appreciate you, man.
Steve, again, we still learn how to speak English. Sometimes I cannot put it in words like the appreciation I have it for you sometimes. Absolutely. It's just overwhelming sometimes. That's all.
Well, you show it. You both do. You both do. And it's very authentic. And I can't express enough that I feel the exact same. Okay?
Thank you, Steve.
So thanks again, guys. Guys, that's episode 4. The Brothers and Moffat, David and Tiago.
Steve, Brother and Moffat.
Brother and Moffat.
I never corrected it before.
Brother and Moffat. You guys can find them at Brother and Moffat on Instagram. Is that the best way to get a hold of you guys?
Yes, it is.
Email?
No, Instagram.
All right, Instagram's the best way to get a hold of them.
Yes.
And that's a wrap.
Yes.
Episode 4, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll catch up with you next week.